Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you might be on this wonderful planet of ours. Welcome to the International Canoe Federation's final afternoon of the Canoe Sprint and Paracanoe World Cup here in Szeged in Hungary. My name's Ross Solly. It's great to be with you this afternoon as we wind down, but wind up in so many ways with some really exciting races coming your way. The 5,000 metre races, always a thrill, always exciting. Extra portages this year for your viewing pleasure. I don't know the athletes will have a lot of pleasure, but it's going to be a challenge. It'll make it very, very interesting. Sitting alongside me, I'm very happy to welcome to the commentary box Rebecca Simon, of course, member of the Great Britain kayak team, the K4, that did so well here in Szeged. Rebby, congratulations on your performance, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for the congrats. And hi, everyone.
It's much warmer in here, isn't it?
Yes.
For people watching at home, it is a bitterly cold day. In fact, I think it's warmed up a little bit because the wind has dropped a fraction.
And the rain has stopped.
And the rain has gone. It says 13 degrees there on the screen, folks. Do not believe that.
No. Take that one off.
Take about 10 off, I reckon. Yeah. About to a 3 would be about right. So it is challenging. It's been challenging for the athletes today, and the fit and the fastest are still with us. They're going to be doing the 5,000 metres, and we're going to be in for some great racing this afternoon. It's always a thrill to watch the 5,000, and with extra portages, Rebby, this afternoon, it's going to make for some interesting racing.
Yeah, very interesting, and hopefully no boats are going to break this time.
Yeah, I think speaking to some of the experience, we had Jenny Egan in the commentary yesterday, and she was concerned with such big fields. It'll be really congested on some of those portages, and some of the less experienced athletes might be a little bit dangerous to be around. When you're trying to get your boat out of the water and run down and then put the boat back in, there's all sorts of carnage that can
Yeah, and hopefully it won't be too slippy either for them on the pontoon.
So just a small field for the C1 women, small but quality. When you look at the lineup that's taking place, we've got from Halifax last year our gold, silver, and well, there's a question mark over the bronze medalist, Maria Corbera. I believe you have some inside information.
Yeah, I just spoke to her. I think she's not doing it this weekend.
So she will be a big out, but there's Katie Vincent, the Canadian. She is the reigning world champion. Of course, the Chinese athletes are always competitive. There's 2 Chinese athletes in this race, Li Li and Yin Wan. Of course, Annika Losky from Germany. She's the reigning world silver medalist. Of course, the Hungarians are always strong. Sophia Kisban, I think, silver in Copenhagen, has already been racing this weekend, so she'll give this a good shake as well. So it's a wide open race, but I think Katie Vincent deserves to start as the favourite.
Yeah, I think so. But I think she's going to have a tough race. These girls will not give it to her easy.
What are the conditions like out there? I know you haven't been on the water today, I don't think.
No, I haven't, but it looks much better than previous days. The wind is not as strong from the side, so hopefully not too challenging, especially for the canoes.
And of course, in the 5,000, they have to race up and back along the course. So at some stage, it will be challenging no matter what side of the boat you paddle on. But we're underway now in the 5,000 metre women's C1 final, 5 kilometres. And as we mentioned, 5 portages this year. They've added some extra portages, which is always challenging. Some of the athletes do it very, very well, and it can make a big difference for a racer if you can get in and out of the water cleanly. But we'll watch how that unfolds. There's a little bit of jostling going on. I love the Kazakhstan outfit, isn't it? It's very eye-catching.
Yeah.
Oops. And already
just forming a group now.
As we see them heading down, they're actually heading in the opposite direction for those watching at home, the opposite direction of where the racing has been all week. So they're coming up now, and they're all heading across.
A bit of a crash.
Yes, a little bit of a bingle over there in the far side of the course, and it looks like Katie Vincent's been caught up in that already, so that will not amuse her at this stage of the race, but it's very early days. And
yeah, there's a long way to go still.
And Remy, it looks like they're going. It looks like they're going over for a bit of wind protection over there. If they can get it.
I think at the top, the boy's going to be out on the far side anyway, so
So we have, looks like Li, the Chinese athlete at the moment in front. The Czech athlete, boat number 9, is Martina Malikova, sitting in second position at the moment. Obviously, getting away and getting away cleanly is part of the challenge for the 5,000 metre races, because they all do start in a line and off they go. But spread out a long way already. We're only a couple of hundred metres into this race, so.
Yeah. Also for the canoes, they have to consider what side they're paddling on for the sitting on the wash, because they have to be on the side of their paddle for it to be comfortable, so it's not as easy as kayaking.
No, it always looks much more challenging, and the athletes who do it well, you can see there, the Chinese athlete, just what a struggle she's having as they head now. I'm not sure if she's got the right line there, but she's changed direction a little bit, trying to go inside now as we head down the 200-metre mark of the course, of course, but they've been going a little bit further than 200 metres already, and they are spread out a long way. And just looking through the field there, I'm trying to see where Katie Vincent is. She's back in about 6th position at the moment. So, but they're already spread out a long way. I'll see if we can find. So there we see
the crash.
The crash. So this was the crash involving the two at the front, which is the Chinese athlete Li and the Czech athlete Malikova, coming together very early. Goodness knows how they stay in the canoe when that happens.
I don't know. I have no idea.
No. Have you ever done?
I've tried. I can stay in it, but I can only go in circles. I can't go in a straight line.
Well, 5K.
Oh, it looks like.
Hang on, what's going on here?
They're not sure about where the course is.
Well, this is. Oh my goodness. Have a look in the background. You can see some athletes are still going.
There's only one turning point, so long means.
Oh no, this is terrible. And the Chinese athlete now she's looked over her shoulder. Oh my goodness, this is. Well, I mean, there's briefings for the athletes before the race, and it was spelt out exactly how this.
Yeah, it's a new format now this year. Yeah. So I imagine that's.
But you've now, there's a couple of athletes who just went way past the turn, as you can see now, the Chinese athlete at the top of your screen, she was leading the race, and now look where she's found herself. She is miles back. And Katie Vincent, who was sitting there in about 6th position, suddenly, I mean, a sporting athlete would have yelled out, hey, don't forget to turn, but she probably thought, okay.
Oh, no.
Off you go.
Just do your own thing in this
Not
scenario.
her responsibility.
No, exactly. I'm sure it would have also confused her a bit.
Well, she did look a little bit concerned that was she doing the right thing or not.
It does make you question yourself, but she did the right thing.
So she'll be very happy with where she is at the moment. So coming down now for the first of 5 portages. And we'll see now who's been practicing over the winter.
Oh.
But Katie, there's a bit of a struggle there getting in and out of the boat. For the canoe especially, it's such a challenge. And, oh my God, we're going to see a bit of carnage there with the boat, but they don't care. So nice clean run at the moment for Vincent. The Kazakh athlete also, that is Tolopova, in and out of the water quite safely. And it looks like it's a Hungarian coming through now. That's Kizban, who is a very good canoe paddler, and you would expect she'll be challenged.
She does a lot of marathon racing as well, so this will be right up her street. Yeah,
the marathon races that are here, and Vonda Kisley is here. We'll see her race a little bit later on. I mean, for them, these portages are no problem at all.
No, except the boat is 4 kilos heavier, so that's a bit of a challenge.
Yes, indeed. So there's Malikova. She was up near the lead, so she's managed to get back in touch pretty quickly. And it looks like the second of the Chinese athletes, Yin Wan, she's through okay. And there's the second of the Hungarian athletes getting into the water now. That's Borka Zagvai. I've not seen Borka paddle before. I'm not familiar with
I think she did the 1,000 maybe.
Okay, yeah. But gee, Katie Vincent's looking calm, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Very relaxed now out in front. Just able now to maintain her own pace and keep control now.
Yeah, looks like she's dropping the others a bit as well.
Would it be easier paddling by yourself, or would you put, I mean, I know with the marathon, the marathon paddlers talk about how difficult it is when you're out on your own.
Yeah. I think it depends on how easy the paces you're doing. I personally, if I could go faster than others in kind of this pace, I would prefer to go on my own because I'd get too stressed where the washes are going to go, who's going to go on what wash. But it does make it easier if you do change leads. So.
And also, I think, trying to read the body language of those alongside you, trying to get an insight into how tired they might be feeling, to know when to go if you're going to go, or worried that they're going to go when you're not ready to go.
Especially, I'm assuming we'll see in the men's race, especially big groups of guys all going together, and you just never know what's going to happen, who's going to go where.
But Katie Vincent, I'm reluctant to call her a veteran because she still is quite young, Katie, but she's been canoe paddling now for many years and just loves being out on the water, and it was great to see her back on the podium this morning, back up with a gold medal this morning, a very popular winner in the 500.
Yeah, she did really well. That was a tough race.
Yeah, it's a good battle for second at the moment, though, between the Hungarian Kizban and the Kazakh paddler Torlapova. So that's the interest at the moment, the battle for silver and bronze. But Katie Vincent looking, I know it's early days, Rebecca, but she's looking very comfortable.
Yeah, she's just lengthening that gap as well between her and the other two. So I think it'll be hard for them to catch her up.
Yeah, disappointing if you're just joining us. There was a mistake on the first lap, but there was confusion for some of the boats about where to turn, and unfortunately, one of the Chinese boats, Li, who was going really strongly, didn't make the turn, just kept on going straight and basically went from first to last in the blink of an eye. And so we'll keep an eye on her, see if she can. I mean, the good thing about the 5,000 is that you do have time to work yourself back into it, but gee, you'd have to work hard on a day like today to do that.
Yeah.
So coming down now for the second portage, and she doesn't look like she's having to work herself too hard, Katie Vincent. She'll get a chance when she gets to the portage to have a sneaky look over her shoulder and see where everyone else is, and I think she'll be pretty happy with what she sees unfolding behind her. They really are strung out this field now, the women's C1 5000. So doing what she did the first portage, just letting the boat cruise along beside the pontoon as far as she can. Now they've both gone to the same side. I don't know that that's good tactics, but now it's the Hungarian out first, the Kazakh a little bit slower out of the water. So Kizban getting a little bit of an advantage here, but let's see how they go getting back into the water. There's our leader, Katie Vincent, in cleanly. See, it looks like hard work, doesn't it?
Yeah. If you're used to running with an 8-kilo boat, or I'm actually not sure, I think it's 10 for the canoes for marathon.
Yeah.
Those extra 4 kilos really do make a difference.
For sure. And you know, then especially with the canoes, you've got to get the water out as well if you've managed to get a bit of water in there during the last lap. So these two athletes have been sticking next to each other, the Moldovan and the Czech. It is Elena Glizan from Moldova, and alongside her we have the Czech Martina Malikova. Now I thought she might have been in that group that went on too far, but she's managed to get herself back up in there in a reasonable position. She's sitting about 5th at the moment. No sign though of Li, the Chinese athlete, who really did lose so much ground.
She was leading so far.
The athlete from Japan is Megumi Sabuta.
Looks like the Hungarian has managed to drop the Kazakhstan.
Yep. And now chasing down Katie Vincent. She's obviously a little bit concerned that the Canadian might be getting a little bit too far ahead. There's a long way to go, though. They've only had 2 portages. They've got 3 to go. So just making sure, though, that Katie Vincent doesn't get too far ahead of her, because she might back herself to out-sprint the Canadian on a final lap. We hope you're enjoying our coverage of the final afternoon from Szeged in Hungary. Do you love it here? Do you love Szeged?
Yeah, although I didn't love the weather this weekend.
No, nobody did. It seems quite strange. Normally when we come to Szeged, it's t-shirt and shorts weather. It's so hot.
I'm not sure
here.
what's happened. We've been here for almost 3 weeks now, and this is the worst weather we've had.
Yeah, yep. So you had a training camp here?
Yeah, we had a training camp here leading up to World Cup with the GB girls. And last weekend I got sunburnt, so a little bit different to this weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of people feeling the cold. What is it about Szeged, Rebecca? I mean, you know the Hungarian scene better than most. What is it about Szeged, and what is it about canoe sprint that is so popular in Hungary?
I think both swimming and canoeing so water sports are kind of the national sports here, so it's very popular. For example, in the UK, no one knows what canoeing is, but everyone knows what rowing is if you just go into school. Here, I guarantee that at least 5 people from each class in schools would be canoeing or at the canoe club. So it's just a very popular sport. So, and I would say, I mean, it's not true for this weekend, but people usually love Szeged because the weather's fair, the wind is fair and straight. That wasn't the case this weekend, and it's normally warm and really busy with spectators, which unfortunately it wasn't, again, I assume because of the weather this weekend.
Yeah, I think the weather kept a lot of people away.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and you've competed here with the stands full and everything on the line. It's just an incredible atmosphere.
Yeah, it is. There's nothing really like it.
But even today we saw, even with the small crowd that was here, I think they really lifted the two men's boats this morning, the K2 and the C2, lifted them up to victory and got them over the line.
Yeah. Although they were both on the far side of the lake, so I'm not sure how much they could hear, but maybe it gave them a little extra at the end of the race.
So here we are down to the third of 5 portages. Ooh, Katie Vincent almost lost the boat there. She just had a sneaky look over her shoulder there, and she would have seen the formidable target of Sophia Kisban chasing her down. So Katie Vincent now will realise that there's no room for error. She's had it pretty easy for the first half of this race, but having a Hungarian breathing down your neck, and look at that, Kisban has really closed it up now. She's right there. If she can pull up alongside Katie Vincent and put her under pressure for the first time this race, then it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. The Kazakh athlete
she's dropped behind quite a lot now.
She has, and it looks like the Chinese athlete is coming through quite strongly. Now, I don't think that's Li. I think that's Yin Wan, the second athlete. But she's now moved up alongside and for the first time, the Czech and the Moldovan have gone to opposite. Oh, the Moldovan's really struggling to get out of the canoe there. So the Chinese athlete's now moved clearly through to 4th. She's overtaken Malikova and from Moldova, Glisan. So it's China in 4th, Yin Wan, and the Moldovan and the Czech have been paddling alongside each other virtually since the start, sitting in 5th and 6th position. But there's Katie Vincent. We'll get an idea in just a moment of how far behind her.
Looks like about 20 meters, 25 meters.
So it's closing slowly, very slowly, but just enough distance for Katie Vincent to be able to still take it relatively easy, but also knowing that if she makes a mistake, then Kisban is waiting to pounce.
Yeah.
First 5,000 meters, C1 final.
And so in terms, Rebecca, of the rest of the year for you and the...
they've gone the wrong side of the buoy.
Oh, no. So now they have to either go around, don't they? I think they have to come around and redo it, or they pull out to the side.
I think the Czech girl went behind and went round the right way, but I'm not sure the Moldovan girl did.
Well, we have officials all around the course, and they will relay information back to the race officials, who will then make a decision about what the penalty should be. But that will be disappointing for the Moldovan. But Katie Vincent looking pretty strong out in front still. Had 16 minutes gone of this race. Of course, the 5,000 metres is not part of the Olympic program at the moment. There's always talk that that we'd like to get it added. Well, I can tell you, yes, of course we would like to get it added, and one of the reasons why we have portages is to increase the spectacle for fans at home, to make it something which they're going to really get their teeth into, and I think we'll see a little bit later on in some of the races that are a bit closer. It can be quite exciting when they get out there on the pontoon for the carnage that can unfold. But it looks like, oh, we've got a problem there for the Japanese paddler. She might have gone in, has she? I
think she got twisted. Her boat got twisted in the turn by the Chinese athlete.
So maybe she's having to go back and go around, is she? She doesn't seem to be going anywhere at the moment. She's just on the one spot. In fact, it's just down in front of us, so I think she's trying to get some sort of guidance on what she's meant to be doing. But
she's trying to get around the last buoy, I think, but...
Oh, so she can't get there.
Looks like she's struggling.
Okay.
A little bit.
So it doesn't look like the gap's closing too much at this stage. Katie Vincent maintaining the pace that she's had since the start. Kisban, who was racing alongside Malakova, sorry, not Malakova, she was racing alongside the Kazakh paddler Tolopova for a while. She's now out on her own in a clear second position. This is the second to last, the penultimate portage. Katie Vincent, every time she's gone to the same side, she's had the same modus operandi. She steps out. Well, this time
that was a bit more smooth than the previous one.
Yes. So one more portage to go after this for the Canadian. Now Kisban is out of the water. Is she going to be satisfied with second? I wouldn't have thought so.
I think she'll be happy with the medal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just emptied her boat.
So a good test now of what both these athletes have in terms of their preparation. And now the Kazakh is still in third spot, but the Chinese athlete is stalking her, just slowly reeling her in. I would like to have my money on the Chinese athlete at the moment. I think she might finish over the top of the Kazakh athlete, Tolopova. So this is Yin Wan, who's made up a lot of ground working her way through the field. Unfortunately, the other Chinese athlete, we still haven't spotted exactly where she is, but she was left behind when she went the wrong way. And there'll be some questions asked for a couple of those paddlers afterwards about how they still thought that that was the right course.
Maybe it was just automatic from previous years.
Yeah, yep. Because normally the first lap is a long lap, isn't it?
Yeah, and then 4 short ones, I think.
That's usually the... So the Moldovan, there's a question mark over her, whether she might have been disqualified. It looked like Rebecca saw her go around the wrong side of the buoy.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then she may have been disqualified, but at the moment she's sitting in 5th position. And looking out in front of us, Rebecca, it looks like the Chinese athlete now is closing in very quickly on the Kazakh athlete for the bronze medal. So that will be an interesting race, I think.
Yeah. Although she would have worked hard to get up there, so
yeah,
we'll see how much energy she'll have left for the sprint finish if it comes down to that.
So yes, I was going to ask you before about, without giving away too many insights, obviously, because everybody will be sitting at home taking notes, but in terms of the K4 team, you'd be pretty happy with the way you came together this weekend?
Yeah. I think it's quite a tough field. Obviously this year everyone wants to go for the K4 to try and qualify those 4 spots. So it wasn't easy to, even make the final. So we were really happy with that, and we're also closer to the top boats than we were even by Worlds last year. So we're really happy with that.
And for those listening at home who don't understand why there's so much emphasis on, because it's about qualifying the quotas, of course, and if you can qualify a K4, then that gives you 4 quotas, and then you can use the athletes from that 4 to also do K2s,
K1, yeah, K1, K2, K4.
It opens up the whole field for you.
And now, of course, you can double up at the Olympics, so you can have 2 K1s and 2 K2s on the line, as well as the K4.
Yep. So that's why so much emphasis is given to qualifying those K4s, and you'll see, you saw here, and you'll especially see in Duisburg, it'll be the main, and the other thing is, of course, Rebecca, in Duisburg, all the positions are on the line there, aren't they? All the K4 positions are on the line there. You qualify there, and that's the end of the show. There's no second chance.
No, and there's no chance to qualify for other spots at the second round. Now, the 200 is not an event. So the maximum next year is 3. So that's the only chance to get a K4 to the games. Yep.
So Katie Vincent now coming down to overtake the Japanese paddler, who really struggled to get around the buoy down the bottom here. So she's lapping. Now last year, of course, they had a rule that at the end of every lap, whoever was at the back of the field
they had to stop.
Was eliminated, but it didn't work because there was also options. It was optional when you took your portage, so it wasn't really very fair for athletes who took the portage on the first lap. So they scrapped that, which is probably a good idea, to make it simpler. And now it's a much more simpler process. And that, I believe, that is the final portage for Katie Vincent. So she'll be very happy to have got through the 5 portages without any problems at all. She's clearly still in the lead. Not much of a threat, you would think, for this final lap for the Canadian.
Just one more lap for her then.
Yep. The 2020 Tokyo Olympian, of course. Now here is the interesting race.
So she has caught up the Kazakh girl.
So that's the Chinese athlete 1 who has moved through the field. And actually, if you see at the top of the picture there, you can see Li Li, her teammate, who was leading that first lap, slowly trying to get back, but she had too much ground to make up. But now we have, for this race for the bronze medal, Yinwan from China and Margarita Tolopova from Kazakhstan. But it looks to me like the Chinese athlete is much stronger, and she should move away now. I wonder whether she's put her sights on maybe trying to haul in Kisban on this final lap. It's a big gap, though. I don't think she can do it. Kisban is quite an experienced paddler, and as Rebecca told you, she's a marathon paddler. So
world medalist in marathons last year.
Yep. So you would think that she would have it in control, and that the final lap shouldn't be too much of a problem for her. Tolopova, well, she at one stage was battling for silver, then she was battling for bronze. I think she's going to end up just outside of the medals, unfortunately, for the Kazakh paddler in the 5,000. Have you done many 5,000s?
No.
Do you want to do many 5,000s?
Not now there's a portage. In the past, I really wanted to do it.
Yep.
But no, now there's a portage. No. I did it a few years ago at like nationals and stuff, and it was fun, but I think I'm just going to watch.
Yeah, it's a tough race, and it's an exciting race. I mean, this race has been over from very early on, of course, with the mistakes at the top. But there is Li Li, who unfortunately just made that huge error and ruled herself out of a medal. And I think we were robbed of the chance to see her challenging for a medal. So she'll be very disappointed. Hopefully she'll be in Poznan in a couple of weeks, and she'll get the chance to rectify. She'll have the map drawn out for her, and she'll staple it above her bed and study it every night.
I'm sure.
Study it. In fact, she might even put a navigator in her boat next time, just to tell her, in 100 meters, turn left. But this has been a very, very convincing performance from Katie Vincent from Canada. She's already won 1 gold medal today.
She looks like she's looking around for...
Just making sure there's nothing she needs to worry about, nothing to panic about. She'll be pretty happy looking back over her shoulder with the distance she's got between herself and Sofia Kisban. You can see there's the distance between first and second and then third now. Clearly the athlete from China. Maybe she's going to come up. She's making up a bit of ground. Could she challenge for a silver? It might be an interesting sprint to the finish if she's got anything left in the tank.
I think it's too short now. It's only about 250 meters from...
So here's our winner, folks. Our first 5,000 meter winner for the afternoon in the women's C1. Canada's Katie Vincent collects her second gold medal for the day. I think her third medal for the week, because I think she also got one in the C2.
And the C1 200. Did she not?
She may have done. Oh, in the C1 200, yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely she did. So 4 medals. I need to check that. You've thrown me a curveball, Rebecca. Yes, I think that's right. Let's say that anyway, because it sounds much better. But well done, Katie Vincent. Just loves paddling, loves doing the canoe.
Smiling already.
Isn't she? Yeah. She'll be very happy. She's picking up a bit of pace now for the finish line. Great result for Canada. Great result for Katie Vincent. She's trying not to laugh, I think. I think she can hear the Canadian support team.
And a lunge to finish.
Look at that. It's always nice, Rebecca, when nice people win.
Yes. Yeah. She's a lovely girl.
She really, really is.
Yeah.
Sofia Kisban coming down to pick up another medal for the host nation. Good race by her. She decided to break out on her own to try and chase down Katie Vincent, but that was a task which was too hard. She's pretty happy with that. The local crowd are also behind her. And a good race, very good race from the Chinese athlete, Yunwan, who will take the bronze medal. Pretty clear result, though. I expect the rest of the finals this afternoon won't be as clear-cut as that.
No, I think it's going to get a bit more hectic as we go on.
So here's Yunwan coming down for the bronze medal. Chinese have such a good canoe program at the moment. They've got, I mean, we saw... Well, you raced against the women's K4.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a real... I mean, they've always been sort of midfield, but gee, they were strong, weren't they?
Yeah. Congratulations.
Really interesting to see.
I don't think they've ever won gold. Well, maybe they have in K4,
not in the K4, I don't think. All right, let's... I think we're going to cross down and hear from Katie Vincent. I'm surprised she's got any breath left to talk to us, but she's always got interesting stuff to say. Let's have a listen to Katie Vincent's take on that race.
So we meet again. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I have to ask about you, the Portage section. What do you think about after this race?
I think it's an interesting feature. It definitely adds some excitement to the event. My forearms are definitely on fire from carrying my boat, but I think it's kind of fun.
What do you think about the others in the second and the third place? Because at that section, you just look back sometimes.
It's a good race. I think it's a strong field out there. So, yeah, congrats to the girls.
Thank you very much, and congratulations for the double gold today. I think Szeged will be one of the best cities in your life.
Yeah, I've raced here a lot over my entire career, and a lot of good memories on and off the water. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, congratulations to Katie Vincent. No question there about, I would like to have heard what she thought about what was happening at the start.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Whether it flashed through her mind that maybe she'd made the wrong call.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that too.
Because there did look to be a lot of confusion. If you're just joining us, there was a couple of the girls who were at the front of the field, including the Chinese paddler Li, who was... In fact, I wonder if they're listening, we might be able to get a replay. We'll see if we can get a replay a little bit later on of what happened. Just a replay of that turn that wasn't taken. All right, we're going to hear now from our silver medalist, I think, Sofia Kisban.
It was a tough race, but a good race. Congratulations, Sofia. You have the silver medal. What do you think about the race?
Oh, it was very hard. In the first 100 meter, we have a track, and then we can fight for the first places. It was hard.
What about the weather? Because it's a strong wind, maybe.
It was good because yeah, not raining, and yes, the wind is hard, but I think it was good.
Good for you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Yes, congratulations, Sofia Kisban from Hungary. And we're underway already in the next race. Well spotted, Rebecca. That's why I pay you the big bucks. Okay, this is the...
I wish.
Yeah. Whatever we're paying you, I'm going to double it right now on the spot. So this is the men's C1. Now, some interesting paddlers here, including Balázs Adolf, of course, who is a gold medalist in Copenhagen, and you've trained a bit with him.
Yeah, he's one of my training buddies.
And he would be one of the favourites for this race,
yeah, but he loves to do the start a bit stressful for us all, get a bit behind straight away. He loves to chase.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well,
that's what he says.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some very good paddlers in here. Konrad Schiebner from Germany, of course, is a very, very good paddler. And there you can see Balázs in the background there from Hungary. Carlo Tacchini from Italy, very, very experienced paddler. So there's some really good... oh, now Tacchini's in a bit of a stoush there. Another bit of a crash, a bit of a jostle going on there between 3 or 4 athletes. I think one of those athletes might be the Cuban. And last time, I think, was it a World Cup last year, or was it when we were here? It might have been the juniors and the under-23s. There was a big stash between one of the Cubans and I think one of the Italians, and it didn't end very well, on or off the water.
Yes, I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
There's a lot of anger.
Yeah.
That, so I don't think the Cubans would want to revisit that particularly. There might have been a couple of disqualifications.
Yeah.
But yes, it is Jose Cordova who's out. I'm not sure what whose boat he's in there, but it's not. That's not
his name.
That's not his name.
No.
Anyway, that's luckily we're onto this, because that is not the name on the boat is not the paddler, unless there's some confusion. But that is Jose Cordova at the front of the field. And who else can we see here?
Balázs Adolf is there?
Fourth
at the moment.
Looks like the Czech paddler is sitting in 3rd at the moment. That is...
And Uzbekistan in 2nd.
Yep, that's Adam Rudolph in 3rd. Balázs Adolf coming through now on his inside. The Uzbeki paddler, Ugli. Is that right? Yes.
Yeah.
Sitting in 2nd position. So a new paddler for me. I've not seen him before. Nuraslam Ugli.
Yeah. The turn for canoeists who are right-handed is much easier this way. So that's an advantage for any righties out there, because they can take the turn a bit tighter, which is what you could just see Balázs doing, overtaking those lefties in the turn.
So let's see if we can get an idea of where everybody else is in this field. I haven't seen Konrad Schiebner. Maybe he didn't take the start line. There were a couple of late scratchings. So let's just see. It is the Cuban, though, out in front. He's gone out hard, very, very hard. That's Cordova, who will go into the first portage with a clear lead. And it's the Uzbeki Ugli. I love that name. Ugli is 2nd, and it looks like the Hungarian Balázs Adolf is in 3rd spot at the moment and travelling pretty well. 4th out of the water is boat number 18, and that is the Greek. Wow. Stefanos Dimopoulos sitting in 4th spot at the moment. There's Tacchini, the Italian. Getting a bit of a look who else is here. There's an American paddler now just getting out of the water. So I don't think Konrad Schiebner took to the water, mate. He didn't.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. So Tacchini's come all the way down. There's no space for him to get in here. He's managed to find... Now this is what is interesting and exciting about the 5,000 metres, because the portages can make or break a race for some athletes.
Yeah. Looks like Balázs has caught up the Cuban paddler. after that portage.
Gee, yeah, he's obviously done a very good portage.
Yeah.
Does he practice a lot with the portages?
I don't think so, but he's done it a lot in his life, so he's got the experience.
So there we have a race in 2 at the front of the field. We have the young Cuban, Jose Cordova, and just on his inside, the reigning world champion, Balázs Adolf, who's also looking nice and strong. Who's back in the rest of the field there?
It's Shabi Shimon from Hungary as well. Boyfriend of the silver medalist from the previous race.
There we go, a bit of inside information there for us.
Yeah.
How's he looking at the moment, do you think, Balázs?
Yeah, relaxed. I'm sure he's tired from playing catch-ups, but he's relaxing on the wash now. He's on the right side of it as well, so this will be quite nice for him.
So at the moment they've got a bit of a space between them and the Uzbeki Ugli, who was sitting in second spot, but it's been a very impressive start to the race from, and now it looks like Adolf is making a bit of a move on the inside. I wonder whether he'd prefer to lead or just sit back at the moment.
I think if he could, he'd probably sit on the wash the whole way.
Yeah, yep.
But I think he has to be careful that the Cuban paddler doesn't push him onto the buoys in the turn too much. I imagine that's why he was doing a bit of a burn going into the turn.
So very careful around the corner here. There's a lot of challenges in a 5,000, but doing these corners, doing these turns can be very challenging for some of the athletes.
Yeah.
So the Uzbeki is, or is that the Greek, I think it might be, or is it, no, that's the paddler from Uzbekistan.
Yeah, Uzbekistan.
Takini's come up now to 4th, I think, by the look of things. Carlo Takini from Italy. And is that sitting outside him in the red boat? Just missed that. It might have been the second Cuban, but we'll get confirmation of that in just a moment. So here they are. They're both coming in now for the second portage. And at this stage, it is a race in 2 between the Cuban, Cordova, and the Hungarian, Balázs Adolf. And at the back end of the field, let's just watch this now.
Let's see the second portage.
Looks like they're going to go to the same side, are they, for the portage this time? Okay, that's interesting. The Cuban will get out first. Let's see who can do the best portage. Looks like Balázs Adolf again. Look at that. That's a very good portage. Lifting it up onto his shoulder. And the Cuban was stuffing around there trying to pick up his boat.
Yeah. Balázs just looks like smooth running.
Yep. Snooze, you lose, and all of a sudden, look at that. That's just in the space of a portage, the distance that he's been able to. And that's a bad sign for the Cuban. He's just looked over his shoulder now to see where the next boat is, which would be a little bit concerning if you were his coach, that he's already starting to think, well, can I hold on to second?
I think Balázs is planning to wait for the Cuban, use his wash a bit to rest up.
Well, if he knows that every time he gets to a portage that he's going to be able to outrun him,
you get a bit of confidence from that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Oh, look at this. He left the boat behind there. But they're all looking like they've done some practice. They know what they're doing. Not too many embarrassing portages at this stage. We haven't had a repeat of Fernando Pimenta's famous portage in Poznan, when he had no idea, he couldn't remember how to carry the boat. He tried to balance it on his head, then he put it on his shoulder and dropped his paddle in the water, and it didn't matter, he still won.
Yeah.
But it was one of the worst portages I think I've ever seen in my history.
Just made it entertaining for the viewers.
He's always, well, that's what he's about, isn't it? He loves putting on a show.
Yeah. So
now the Cuban takes his turn, just sitting off the shoulder of the powerful Hungarian, Balázs Adolf. This was on the first lap. So the field is getting strung out a little bit now. We've had 2 portages, 2 of 5. Yeah, look, some of these boats accumulate a lot of water, don't they?
Yeah.
And the Uzbeki paddler Ugli is holding his form. He's managed to stay in third place at the moment. He'll be watching the back of the Cuban very closely, just looking for any sign that he may be getting tired or that there's an opening there for him to... You can see there the gap between the front two and the Uzbeki Ugli, who has been there since the start in third spot. But at the front two are just working alongside each other.
I think they're going quite easy.
They are, aren't they?
I don't imagine either of them want to do a hard lead.
No, just to make sure that they maintain the distance
They just
between
had a little chat to change lead.
Did they?
Yeah.
What language do you reckon they spoke in?
Oh, I imagine English.
So Cordova kindly agrees to do it, so that's nice. That, he's decided, okay, yep, I'll take my turn. And we're coming down now to the third portage for the race. Certainly the Hungarian Adolf has had the better of the two of them with the portages so far. But as the race goes on, Rebecca, they're going to get a bit tighter. Those arms are good. We heard Katie Vincent say how her arms were burning after the 5 portages. So with each portage they do, they'll get a little bit harder. Their legs are tighter, their arms are tighter. That boat would probably feel a couple of kilograms heavier than it was when they started.
Yeah.
Okay, let's analyze this portage. The Cuban has struggled a little bit, and looks like he's struggled a little bit this time as well. He's out cleanly, though, this time.
A little bit more smooth than last time.
But
Balázs just outruns him.
He's got the superior leg speed, hasn't he? He's got the longer legs.
Longer legs.
So that is a carbon copy of the last portage, with Cordova getting to the pontoon the quickest, but on the space of that short run, it's enough for Balázs Adolf to put some space between himself and the Cuban. It's getting close now. Carlo Tacchini coming back through the field. Yeah, and you would expect that as well. I mean, he's a very experienced paddler.
Medalist from earlier as well.
Yeah, indeed.
In C2.
In C2, so he's had a great day. And there's the second of the Cubans there. Very experienced paddler. Sergei Madrigal, he's won these races before, but he's a bit off the pace today.
I wonder what the race plan is going to be now. If they're going to wait for each other.
Well, I think Kopacz would be backing himself in. It's not Kopacz, sorry. I said Balint Kopacz, but he's not out there. I think
that would be impressive if he was in this race.
Wouldn't it? Yes. He could probably do it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yep. No, Balázs Adolf, I think would... Oh, hey, hello. This is... There we go. We don't see that. Look, the American... It looks like the Edge from U2. Is he paddling out there? A very unusual approach there to a...
I've never seen that before, but it seemed to work.
Well, he just let the... I think it was Ian Ross. Just let the canoe just slide along the pontoon for a little bit. So there's a little bit of a gap opening up now at the front. This might be the moment that Balázs Adolf decides it's the time to put this one to bed.
Still a long way to go, though.
There is, yep. What have we had? Three portages, so we have 2 to go. You can hear the Hungarian fans here. They love seeing their team winning. They were so noisy today when Hungary picked up those medals in the K2 and the C2. Where is, do you know where Balázs's family are from? Are they from near here, or?
No, they are from a town called Szentendre, which is just outside of Budapest.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're all here watching him.
Of course. That's great. They'd be loving what they're seeing at the moment, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. He's got his lucky pink thermal on.
Is that lucky, is it? Good.
Yeah. He calls himself the canoeing, the Johannes Kleber, who's a cross-country skier. He's the canoeing version of him, and he wears pink stuff and has pink skis and things.
It works for you.
Yeah.
So let's see how we go now. We're coming down to the 4th of 5 portages, and so far today Balas Adolf has made no mistakes. He's been very clean in and out of the water. He's been very fast across the pontoon, so if he decides to here, and really, why wouldn't you, he can really put this one to bed and put some real distance between himself and the Cuban. I think this is the first time that Balas has come into the portage in first spot. Just guides himself in now, out cleanly, good strong pickup. Really takes out the ankles of the Cuban on the way past. But that is a very nice portage again. Let's see how he goes getting back into the water. You can hear the trumpets, you can hear the vuvuzelas of the Hungarian fans just trying to lift their man. Much better portage there for the Cuban as well.
Yeah.
Much more on his game. Looking behind us now, I think the Italian Tacchini is in a clear 3rd spot. We'll just wait. They're coming down for the portage now. Hopefully we'll see Ian Ross's portage again, see if he's got another party trick to show us. There he is there, at the bottom of your screen. That is the Italian Carlo Tacchini. He's out by himself now.
Clearly in 3rd place now.
Clearly in 3rd, and maybe he's backing himself in here to sneak up and challenge a tiring Cuban, because looks like he's starting to go up and down on the one spot a little bit now, Cordova. So maybe there's an opportunity there for Tacchini. He's got one more portage to go, and then another lap after that. So there's time if he's good enough, but it will take a big effort. But at the moment, gee, the Hungarian, he's looking nice and strong, isn't he?
I think he's quite relaxed still.
Something would have to go seriously wrong here for him to...
yeah, touch wood it won't.
Yeah, for him to drop the ball here. So at this stage, as they sit on the course, it's gold to Hungary, silver to Cuba, bronze to Italy. But there's still a little bit of this race to play out yet. Things can happen. One of the beauties of introducing the portages is that things can happen, and things often happen. But, oh gee, there's a real gap opening up now at the front of the field. With Balas Adolf on his way, you would think, to a comfortable gold to follow on from his world titling in Copenhagen, I think it was 2021. He was world champion.
Yeah. In sprint and marathon, well, 5K and marathon that year.
Yeah, he had a great year, didn't he? Is he from a canoeing family, Rebecca? Do you know? Or?
No. He's the only one from his family.
Okay.
Yeah. But he loves it. He just loves the canoe club vibes. Nothing too complicated, just simple. Trains on the Danube mostly.
Yep. Well, it's working well for him. He comes down now for his final portage. No need to take any risks. He can be very, very careful here. He's got enough of a lead here to just be sensible. Balas Adolf from Hungary. Still very young too, isn't he? He's 1999 he was born, so yeah, so he's still got some great paddling in front of him, you'd think. Here he is, in and out of the water.
smiling,
Gives him.
waving to his
Wow,
sister.
and look at the sprint, and he puts on a sprint for the fans.
Wow.
He's no time for showboating.
I hope he
No?
knows there's one more lap.
Hey, seriously. Good on him, though. Just putting on, he's taking a leaf out of the Fernando Pimenta playbook and putting on a bit of a show for the fans. And meanwhile, the Cuban's just jogging along. He's thinking, I'm not doing that. Stuff that. I'm just going to get through and get this race over and done with. But what if he's... And
What a guy.
Yeah, good on him. Look at him now. He's decided, I'm going to pass a few more people yet before this. And there's Carlo Tacchini, who'll be liking the sound of that bell. Looks up there to see if the coach has got any instructions for him. I think the only instruction would be...
I think it's just checking how many laps he's got left
Well,
to do.
the bell is going, so that's usually a good sign.
Yeah.
So as we look out from our commentary position here, clearly, and Ballas Adolf pulling away now. The question is, second, you would think that Cordova should be able to hold on and take the silver.
Yeah, I think that's a bit too far to
Yep.
catch.
Yep. And Tacchini is also clearly in the bronze medal position. So one of them would have to go around the wrong side of the buoy, or...
Oh, no.
Oh, there we go. Oh, he tried to get... Oh, my... Oh, dear. Uh-oh. Here we go.
I
Oh,
think his boat got stuck under the pontoon.
oh, no. And now he's got to... This is going to be awkward. So now he's got to get out. He's dripping wet, cold. There's more water in there than there is actually on the course.
Recovered quite quickly
He did,
from
actually.
that.
Yep. He'll be quite annoyed, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
He's got a very determined look on his face, though, hasn't he? Wow. Not happy Jan, as they say. Oh, now he's having troubles getting back in the canoe, but he's underway again. And
No tricks from Ian Ross this
No,
time.
Ian Ross just playing it straight this time. The party time for partying is over. But here's our leader, folks, and likely gold medalist. As we have a look back here at the next portage. Oh, and there's a dropped paddle there. Guys running into each other.
GB's Johnny Jones.
Yes.
Oh, here's the...
Here we go.
Oh.
Oh dear. So yes, I think you're right. He's run straight into the end of the pontoon. And desperately trying to pull himself in. And look at that. Dear, dear. Well, these things do happen. Fortunately, I suppose in many... What does that face tell you, Rebecca?
Bit of determination and anger, I would say.
I think that's also giving us a message. Don't come and talk to me after the race for at least 2 hours. But here we have our winner, folks. What an impressive performance from this young man. Former world champion, marathon champion, and just great bloke to boot. Coming down now for the gold medal here in front of his home crowd. You heard the support they gave him on the last lap. You'll hear the noise lift in just a moment as he comes down in front of the grandstand.
I imagine he'll put on a show of some sort in the last 100 metres.
Well, I hope he doesn't overdo it and fall in, because that would be very embarrassing on international television. But here he's digging deep now. He's really showing off what he can do. Congratulations, Ballas Adolf. Don't fall in, whatever you do. But that is a great race. Strong gold medal performance from this man from Hungary. Thank you very much, he says. Thank you for your support.
I think he's still got pretty tired in that.
Yeah. Yep. Good race from the Cuban. Cordova took it out hard early, but really he was only hanging on because Adolf was just toying with him almost for a little while, and then once the question was asked, he was unable to go with the Hungarian. So congratulations to Jose Cordova for the silver, and great to see Carlo Tacchini.
He worked hard in that race.
He really did.
Well deserving of that medal.
Yep, and he's just one of the You know, I can say this about a lot of the paddlers here, but he's one of the nicest people off the water as well.
Yeah.
Genuinely nice guy.
Yeah.
It'd be so good to see him get to Paris next year, one way or another.
Yeah.
But he'll be enjoying that bronze medal. But we cannot take anything away from our winner. He was impressive. He was strong.
Oh no!
Oopsie daisy.
Size.
Oh dear. Well, that's not the same guy, is it?
I don't think so.
No, anyway, he's got to make a decision here. What does he retrieve? No, it's the Uzbeki. Kochnev. All right, we're about to hear from our winner, Balázs Adolf.
Go to Hungary. Balázs Adolf, congratulations. How do you feel right now?
Thank you. It was a really hard race. The Albanian guys was good, but in the run I was better, and I win.
Yeah, what did you say to each other in the middle of the race? Because you had the eye contact with the Cuban guy, Jose.
Yeah, it was a fight.
It's not just a race, it was a battle.
I hope I not fall the water. Yeah.
This was a big run in the portaging section.
Yeah, I was a marathon canoeist. I go the 1,000 meter, but the 5,000 meter is the best for me.
Thank you very much, bravo, well done.
Yeah, he's talking there about the 1,000 metres compared to the 5,000, how much he enjoys. And I'm assuming, Rebecca, later on this year, we probably see him. Actually, I wonder whether he'll do the World Championships for marathon this year or whether he'll just focus on qualifying for the Olympics.
I don't think it would fit his calendar.
No.
He was saying to me he would love to, but
yeah,
obviously priority is on trying to qualify that spot for the games. So.
Although Duisburg is before the marathon, so he could do that, and then the marathon. But the marathon's like the weekend after, I think. So that would be crazy stuff to do the canoe sprint one weekend and then the marathon the following weekend. But look, if anybody can do it, he can do it.
Yeah, I'm sure he would love to. It's just where the selections for their team fits within the sprint calendar.
Yeah. Yes, I don't think he'd want to do anything that could jeopardise the chance to get to.
Not sure he'd be allowed to anyway.
Look at that. That was still with a lap to go.
Yeah.
Bit cheeky, really.
Hopefully he got a picture out of that too.
Yeah. I'm sure. Good on him. It's like a bit of rain out there still. It does not go away, does it? It's been like this all day. Well, I'm looking forward to this next race, and I know you must be as well, Rebecca. What a great field for the women's K1 5000.
It's a strong field.
It really, really is, and I'm hoping if the athletes who are listed here to start, I'm really interested to see how Vonda Kisley goes, the marathon champion. I mean, she is without peer in the women's marathon. She's been so far ahead of the rest of the field now for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Stepping back to the 5,000 and taking on some of these fantastic canoe sprint athletes, it's going to be a really, really interesting
Melina Anderson, I think, is going to be a challenge because she's done a bit of marathon racing herself.
Yep. Yul Hake from Germany, of course, won silver last year in the World Championships, so she's good. And, of course, Jenny Egan Simmons is, you know, she's so experienced. She was in the commentary box with me yesterday and was saying, though, that she was a little bit nervous about the portages with so many athletes going through the portage at one time, just what could end up happening. But, look, I think it's going to make for a fascinating race as they get across to the start line now. We'll see if we can work out where everybody... There she is. There's Vonda Kisley in the red boat. So... it's really exciting to see her here. We're going to see Mads Petersen, the Dane in the men's, of course. He's also an outstanding paddler. So, you know, it's exciting to see the coming together of the marathon and the canoe sprint paddlers. Jenny Egan there in front of us, looking a little bit nervous. I think Melina Anderson back there we saw in the background.
I think the Italians are cheering in the background.
Already, yeah.
Interesting she's got a spray deck on, the Hungarian.
Yeah. Well, I assume that would only be for the first lap, would it? Maybe she's going to pull. I don't know how that would work.
We'll see, I guess.
So no GB paddlers in here, though.
No, not this time.
They didn't tap you on the shoulder and say, well, you... I mean, their loss is my gain, because here you are in the commentary box with me.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm not doing it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So let's watch this. Also, Sofia Zelavoros is also in this.
Yeah.
She's an outstanding man. I mean,
Yeah, so she's the one with the spray deck, so I'm interested to see what she's going to do with that.
Yeah. I would think, because, you know, she's had a lot of races with Von der Kiesli, I would think the shorter distance would suit her maybe over Kiesli.
I'm not sure.
But yeah,
Maybe.
It's Sarah Mielek from Finland is here. She was 4th in Halifax last year, so she's a formidable paddler.
I think she actually ended up getting a medal in the end because of the whole stop if you're lapped, but she already done a portage and there was I think they appealed it and I think she got a medal in the end.
Do you remember that? That went on forever. Remember that appeal that went like for hours and hours?
Yeah.
Nobody knew what was
So she
happening.
didn't get the medal ceremony, but I think she got a medal.
I didn't see Christina Bedek if she was there, but
She is.
good.
And the green on
Yep,
the
there
side.
she is. Yep, well spotted. So she's here paddling. Paddle from Norway is here. What would you do? Would you go out hard and try, or would you just sit back and let all the carnage unfold?
I'm not sure.
No.
I think I would try and go out really hard.
Yep.
My old teammate Louisa Gursky told me she was the 5K queen, that the first 1,000 of the 5K is the hardest ever 1,000 she's ever done.
Yeah. So let's see what's happening here. It looks like the athlete from Spain is that Fernandez, who is going out very fast in the middle of the field. Who's going with her? It looks like
Canadian?
there's a Canadian there. That'll be Michelle Russell, I think, from Canada, is it?
Maddie Schmidt, maybe?
Oh, Maddie Schmidt, maybe. Yeah, yep. But we'll get an idea in a moment of who is going to settle into this, the Finnish paddler. And I think we're going to see a little bit when they come together. It could be a little bit of jostling going on very soon. At the moment, they've sort of split into two camps. In the middle of the field, staying out of the trouble, you've got Jenny Egan in there. There's Michelle Russell there, the Canadian. And coming down here, this is the Spaniard Fernandez with Maddie Schmidt alongside her.
And Melina Anderson in the V-wash.
Yep, just sitting where you've got to sit right now. So Fernandez in front. Kicciali from Italy is on one side of her, the Canadian on the left-hand side. But two distinct groups here have gone in opposite directions. Now let's see if we can pick up which group Von der Kiesli is in. I think she's on the far side.
Yes.
There she is over there.
Yeah.
So deciding to go closest to the to the outside of the course. Now they're starting to move across. So
Melina Anderson taking the lead.
yep, she got out of the V and she's decided to go over and lay down the challenge. Fernandez, though, refusing to give in. So when these two groups come together, it could be Melina Anderson and Fernandez from Spain. There's Lescano, the other Spanish paddler, who's very strong. Mielek from Finland is in there. So there we have a group of about 10, 12 athletes in a group together, which is a big group for a lead group. Oh, there's a bit of a problem with for Maddie Schmidt there on that first corner. She got squeezed in on the buoy, and also at the back of the field now, Jenny Egan's been pumped out, thrown out the back of this group with the congestion that you get there on that first bend. So Jenny Egan has a little bit of work then to get back up and be part of that lead group. So there's Kiesli there sitting just off the pace a little bit. She's, she can see now, just coming down past the red buoy. It's still quite a big group. As we see them there now, starting to jostle, starting to think about where they're going to come on for this portage. This first portage could really decide many, many things about this race, because there's a lot of people who are going to be trying to get out. And you can see on that side there, they've got handles on their boat.
That wasn't allowed at the Worlds last year.
No, this is a concession that they've made because they're doing 5 portages. The deal was, well, in return for that, you can put a handle on the side of your boat.
That's a good deal, I think.
Yeah, so that it's a bit easier for you. Okay, now this is going to be really interesting. Everybody's coming in at the one time. This is what Jenny Egan said yesterday was making her most nervous about this race, is how this is going to play out.
Does look a bit more carnage than the previous races.
It really, really does. So this will, the good athletes here will make a bit of ground. The ones that struggle are going to really find it hard. Now already we have someone stopping to empty their boat, so they're losing ground.
Anderson struggled a bit there.
Yep. So, and there's Vonda Kisley there. You can see her just on the pontoon, just slowly moving her way through the field, making sure she doesn't get into any trouble. There's a couple of athletes just hanging around. So look at this. Someone's trying to put their boat in front of... It's the other Hungarian, actually. Oh, dear. That's not going to go down very well. And now Kisley's stuck in a traffic jam there. She can't actually move. She was sitting in her boat, waiting for people to get out of her way.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
This is why I'm not there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And she looked pretty calm. I don't think you'd be calm, would you, if that happened? You'd be saying, get out!
Yeah.
Yes, no love lost there, I can tell you, at this stage of the race. But now looking at the front, it's Fernandez from Spain, just working out who's who and who's where. And
Cicali from Italy.
Yep, she's up there, and it looks like it's Cicali from Italy, and there's the second group, and the two.
Is it Maddie Schmidt on the third?
I think no. I think it's. Yeah, it is. So let's have a look here. There's Vonda Kisley coming in now, and a bit of a jostle there already, early on. There's our lead group. So yes, you're right, 54 is Maddie Schmidt there. Fernandez from Spain, who's looking pretty good at this stage. Sarah Mihalak from Finland. As they race through the rain here, and it hasn't eased off at all, unfortunately, this afternoon. It's pretty horrendous conditions. Could be worse, though, the last couple of days.
Yeah. I think they'd rather the rain than the wind.
For sure. For sure. So there are your lead two. We have Spain and Italy, cheek by jowl. And, oh, in fact, it looks like the Canadian has gone through, Maddie Schmidt, to the lead. We've already seen one goal to Canada this afternoon for the C1 5000. Could they win a medal here, win a gold medal? That would be quite an incredible performance for the youngster Maddie Schmidt. I say youngster, she's quite experienced. She's been around for a few years, but would be a big breakthrough for her if she could get on the podium. So there's a distinct gap there between the front three and the chase group, which has Jenny Egan's in there, Vonda Kisley's in there. Is
the Spanish?
Is Melina Anderson in there or not? Where's she? She must have dropped right off.
No, she's there on the first wash.
Yep, she's going fine. I just spotted Christina Bedek there as well. There she is there on the left. Yeah. Very experienced paddler. Svetso from Norway. She's had some good races, so she's up there leading the chase group at the moment. But this race is now starting to take a little bit of shape. Kisley's got a bit of work to do. She's back now into almost like a third group, leading up a third group at the top there. So just trying to stay in touch. Lost a lot of ground on that first portage.
Yeah, she did when she had to wait around.
Yep. Yep. I'm not sure when she goes back and reviews that, she'll be very unhappy with the way that played out. So here we go, the second of 5 portages. Another good, ooh, almost a trip there for the Spaniard, but she's okay. And the second group coming in here now with Sletso, Christina Beddick's out of the water. They're trying to chase the lead pack down. Maddie Schmidt is looking over her shoulder, and this is closed up very quickly on this first group. Tikali from Italy as well. The chase group's done very well here, I think, to get up and get close so quickly. But I tell you what, the Spaniard made a big move on that portage.
Between her and the Italian.
We didn't see her on the footage get back in the water, but she was already in the water. There she is. She has made a big move.
And Melina from Sweden has caught up.
Yep. So
where's Maddie Schmidt gone?
Yeah, good question. Where is she? She can't still be. She can't still be back there. She got a problem with her boat, maybe. I don't know. I saw her get into the water, but she's nowhere to be seen. We're looking out our window. Could you see her down the bottom?
No, couldn't see anything.
So, oh, and there we are. There's a problem there in front of us. That's
Norwegian girl.
And it looks like, oh, anyway, there's all sorts of problems happening at the back of the field, but at the front of the field, well, the Spaniard has said, catch me if you can. She has put her foot down, and look at that. Look at that gap that she's opened up now.
Wow.
On the Italian. Melina Anderson. And there's somebody who does not look happy with life at the moment.
She must have broken her rudder.
Yep. Yeah, so not going very well for her. But, gee, this is an impressive performance by the Spaniard. She has jumped out at this second. Oh, here we go. Someone else from Algeria having a bit of a swim on the portage. She's decided enough is enough. I'm not going to bother with this anymore. But it's a very strong performance from Estefania Fernandez, the Spaniard. She went out hard at the start, determined to get herself in that lead group, and then really went hard on that second portage and put some distance between herself and the rest of the field. So laying down a bit of a challenge now. If the rest want to catch her, they're going to have to work pretty hard. Good little chase group though, solid chase group of 3. They can work together if they want to. Try and...
I guess for the Spanish it's now whether she waits for them or tries to pull away on her own.
I think if it was only 1 or 2 of them maybe, but I think with 3 of them chasing there's always that risk that you might do yourself out of a medal altogether.
Yeah.
So there's Jenny Egan. And alongside her is Sofia Zalavoris. Christina Beddick there. Beddick, Egan. I mean, there is a group of marathon paddlers sticking together. Those 4 have raced against each other so many times in marathon events. And here they are working in a canoe sprint 5,000-meter race, trying desperately to hang on. Looks like Anderson's made a bit of a move now. She's thinking enough is enough. I'm going to try and chase down the Spaniard, but I think she's putting more distance between herself and the rest of the field.
I think she is as well.
And confirmation that the Algerian Ferret has abandoned. She took a swim at the last pontoon and has decided to pull out. So let's see if she does another good portage here. The pressure will really be on the chase pack. She's very efficient, very effective in and out of the water. Let's see what Anderson can do. She's up and, oh, just struggling to get the boat up.
And hear the Spanish cheering on.
Yep, they're pretty happy. So, Melina Anderson there in the front. The Italian Cicciala behind her. Now Beddick. Kisley now starting to make her move. Zalavoris also making a bit of a move. Jenny Egan trying to hang on to that group. This will be a test of Vonda Kisley and how strong she is. We know how good she is as a marathon paddler. And can her strength over the longer distance get her through here and maybe put her up in the hunt for a medal? Christina Bedek's away, Jenny Egan's away, but look at this leader. She's really putting in some strong performance, but I think the chase group is now starting to make up a bit of ground. It looks like Melinda Anderson is really digging deep here and trying to close that gap.
Yeah. Doesn't look like that gap's closing too much at the moment, but the two of them are pulled away from the Italian.
Yep. So it's Spain in front from Sweden and Norway. Norway? No. What did you say? Yeah. So who's third at the moment?
I think Norway.
It is Norway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone's lost the boat.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's the Japanese paddler. I wonder where she is. The boat's there. But, oh. Oh my. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I was wondering where I left that. Yep. What do I owe you? She says. What do I owe you for returning my boat? I wonder if that's legal. Getting help from the crowd.
I know if you fall in, you can't carry on if you get help.
No. But I wonder what the rules state about someone returning your boat. So Estefania Fernandez continues to lead this women's K1 5000 and to lead comfortably. Trying to chase her down is the Swede, Melina Andersson, and also in the mix there, Anna Sletcho from Norway. There they are there. And there's Melina Andersson. I mean, we know she's a strong paddler. If anybody can do it, then she's got the ability to do it. But the Spaniard is also a very good paddler, though. There's a big gap there still, though. You're right, I think, Rebecca. There's. So we're coming up now, I think, for the penultimate.
Last portage?
No, I think the second last, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think they've had.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's only the fourth lap.
Yep. So there's Kisley. There's Anderson. There's Slotzi. Kisley now moving up behind those two.
That gap is getting bigger.
Between the leader, for sure. I think the race is now for the minor medals at this stage, because that chase group, the third group there, with the Italian at the front, is starting to close in on the second group. So we could have 5 athletes racing for 2 medals here very, very soon. I can't imagine that Melina Anderson would want to let Vonda Kisley join her group.
No, I don't think so.
When she gets out for this portage, she'll have a look over her shoulder and she'll see that she's behind her and just make sure that she can put some more distance behind her. But the Spanish crowd are very excited because they may get a medal here. They may get a gold medal. Let's see how this portage goes for Slotzi and Anderson, both clean out of the water. And here's your chase pack. With the Italian, who was up there chasing for a silver medal at one stage. She's slowly falling back. Vonda Kisley now moves through. She's overtaken the Italian. She can see Anderson in front of her. These two are very, very familiar to each other. They've raced a lot alongside each other, so it will be interesting to see how this plays out. She's had to work hard, Kisley, because she got stuck on that first portage in a traffic jam and basically had nowhere to go. And here's the second Hungarian, Sofia Celis, that she's, I think, caused the traffic jam in the...
Yeah, I think she did at that portage.
Yep. But check out Estefania Fernandez from Spain. Went out hard. So let's see now. It's Kisley is now sitting in 4th position, I think.
Yes.
So, and trying to move up now on the Norwegian, who's falling off a little bit from Melina Anderson. So Kisley will see that. She can see what's unfolding in front of her. I think, though, the gold medal is out of their reach.
Yeah,
The Spaniard is not looking like she's slowing down at all, which is a pretty impressive performance as the sun tries to break through.
Trying really hard.
Can you believe it? Surely not. So there's Maddie Russell. She's Michelle Russell, sorry, but we lost the second Canadian, Maddie Schmidt, who was up there in the challenge group and then just disappeared off the screen. I'm not sure what ended up happening.
Yeah, I'm interested to know what happened there.
So we have one more portage to go, and then the final lap. As this K1 5000 women's final heads towards its conclusion. Come around the top bend, and you can see now, there is your leader in front, at the front of the screen, Fernandez. Sitting in second now is, it's not Slotchi, so Melina Anderson is sitting in clear second. Slotchi is in third position, but with a couple of paddlers closing down on it. There you can see it there, the race is coming up for third, I think.
I think so, potentially even second.
Yeah.
A lot of that will depend on the last portage.
Yep. And we know that Kisley's very good at portages.
Yes.
She's very experienced, so I suspect she'll make her go, she'll make her run for it there. But look at this Spaniard. She has blown them away, caught them napping on the portages and just put a bit of distance between herself and the rest of the field, and they've just really struggled to make that up. She's looking calm, though.
She is. She's working hard, but she's looking good.
I suppose when you have the quality of athlete behind her that she has, you don't want to leave anything to chance.
She can't go easy.
She just needs to get this right, and she should be fine. She's out of the water fine, so that's looking good for her. Anderson now clearly in second position. But what I'll be watching for here is the portage of Vonda Kisley. She's come over to the right-hand side of the pontoon. This is where she'll make her move, I suspect. She's very, very good at portages. She's up and away. And down she goes towards putting Anderson looking strong, holding on to that second position. But, ooh, look at Kisley come through. The race for the minor medals on this final
Especially
lap.
the bronze, I would say.
Yep, it's going to be what we want to be watching, because I think the gold medal can be safely locked away in Fernandez's pocket. Anderson clearly...
silver,
I think so. But look at this. The race for the bronze is what we're watching here, and I would like to back in the Hungarian here to get up over the top. Unfortunately for Anna Sletsko, who paddled so strongly, but she was up there challenging for the lead, then she fell back to challenge for the silver and the bronze, and now she's going to be in a real battle to hold on to that third spot. She's still there at the moment. Kisley just sitting off her at the moment, waiting to pounce, waiting to make her move. Anderson clearly in second position. There is our leader, but now looking back into the race for third, and I can see Kisley now slowly, there she is, slowly drawing up alongside the Norwegian, who's kicked again, though. She has kicked again, so Kisley switched to the other side.
I imagine that's for the turn, so she doesn't get pushed onto the boys.
Yep. And there she goes. She's now trying to make her move. It will be heartbreaking for Anna Sletsko to look at. Yeah, she's looked over her shoulder now, and she's going, you? You, of all people, it has to be you. Coming up alongside her, Kisley making her move. She's moved into the bronze medal position now. Sletsko will need to dig really, really deep to hang on to this. But look at our winner, look at our leader as she comes around the bend for the final time. A strong performance from the start for Estefania Fernandez from Spain.
300 meters for
And we'll get an idea of now how far Melina Anderson is behind her. Gee, there's a big gap between first and second. Oh, look at that. There's Anderson in the silver medal position. Let's see if Kisley has managed to move clearly in front into the bronze medal position. She'll be coming up now to the bend. There she is, yes, so she's moved into thirds. Let's Joe is still there alongside her, just on her inside, so that could come down to a sprint to the finish between those two paddlers. Kisley has had to put in a lot of work to get up and get in touch, so I wonder how much she's got left for the sprint home. They're starting to look pretty comfortable now. Some pretty long, smooth strokes now for the Hungarian marathon, multiple marathon world champion. But let's take nothing away from this leader. Let's take nothing away from the gold medal for Estefania Fernandez. She's been there since the get-go. She's been out in front. She's defied running down, and in fact, she's put even bigger space between herself and what is a quality field.
That's really impressive. To do it all on your own, basically from lap 2. That's impressive.
So you can hear, I hope you can hear the Spanish fans in the effects mic. There's a good contingent of them here, and they're cheering their girl home. Gold medal for Spain. Congratulations.
Almost missed the ball.
Oh dear. She's all right. Oh my goodness, that is not the time to stuff it up. Melina Anderson now is coming down for the silver. Melina Anderson, a good race, and now still a good race for third, but it's going to be Kisley, the Hungarian.
Yeah,
look at this. Oh, Kisley nearly blew it there, but Celestio, a good race, but heartbreak for her to miss out on the medal. Kisley will be cursing that first portage. Absolutely cursing it.
But she got there. She got to the bronze.
She got to the bronze, but I'm sure she could have been in the running. She could have been in the mix for a silver, if not a gold, if she had have been.
Maybe.
Yeah, who's to know? Sarah Mielek coming in now, the Austrian as well. Pep coming in for a good race for all of them. They've paddled hard today. The conditions have been a little bit challenging.
They had everything: wind, rain, sun, a little bit of sun.
Last canoe, the 5th, Chicali, the 6th, Christina Bedec.
So there we have a gold, silver and bronze medalists. Good camaraderie there, of course. Melina Anderson and Vonda Kisley and Anna Sletsto, they race alongside each other a lot in the marathon races, so they're very familiar with each other. I'm sure we'll see them at the Marathon World Championships later. Although, interesting choice for, well, I'm sure Melina Anderson, her priority will be to qualify for Paris, no doubt about that. And she paddled well here. She paddled well.
Yeah, she did. She was in the final, wasn't she?
Yep. So, you know, she'd have a bit of confidence to go to Duisburg and qualify that boat for Sweden.
Yeah.
But a tough race. 5 portages is tough going. Congratulations, though, to the medalists. And the tail enders. The tail enders now starting to come in now and cross the finish line. But we're about to hear from our gold medalist, Estefania Fernandez. What a courageous performance from this young lady from Spain. Let's have a listen to her thoughts on the race.
Estefania, it's a gold medal for you. Congratulations. How do you feel about this race?
Thank you. I will say very, very happy.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Bravo.
Well, there's an insight for you. She does feel very happy, but good on her. It was a very tough race, and she was brave. She was crazy brave, some might say, going out hard early. With it, I wonder, though, whether she would have looked at the quality of the field, and she probably thought her best chance was to go out early and to really make everyone else.
Yeah, maybe.
And maybe...
Or she just saw that opportunity when she got away and just thought, let's just go for it.
And if you're good at portages, which obviously she was, then you back yourself in a little bit, don't you, to be able to...
Yeah.
You know, we saw there's a big difference between the good portage athletes and the ones who really, really struggled.
No, I think this is going to be carnage.
There will be carnage, I can guarantee it, because there are some people here who they will not take any prisoners. You know, there's Pimenta in the field, we have McTavish from Canada, of course we have Quade Thompson from New Zealand is very familiar to this sort of racing. There's Mads Peterson, João Ribeiro from Portugal. This field is oozing with talent, and I can imagine that at the first portage there will be 20 blokes trying to get out of the boat at the same time and to run along a very short pontoon to get into the water. So the race could be won and lost on that very first. I asked Fernando Pimenta there he is with the balaclava on. I asked him the other day whether he's been practicing his portages. He said he has, but he's also very happy to have a handle that he can use to carry the boat this time, because it's made. Hamish Lovemore there, of course, fantastic marathon paddler. Mads Peterson, there he is there, Mads Peterson, he'll be up there at some stage. They had a great rivalry, Mads Peterson and Fernando Pimenta, at the Marathon World Championships in Portugal last year. Great to see them renew their rivalry.
Oh, they're off.
And they're off and racing. And let's see if there's any drama early on.
K1, 5 kilometers.
It looks like in the middle of the field, it looks like he's that Czech paddler who's gone out very hard. Yes, he has. I saw it.
Oh, we've had a capsize already.
Way back there at the top of the... Who was that that's gone in already? We've hardly got any meters into this race at all, and somebody's in the water. But there's...
Looks like Pimenta and the Hungarian are leading.
Yep.
Finish?
That's the Finnish paddler he gets to have a nice... He gets first crack of the hot water anyway, which should be happy about. But there is Fernando Pimenta in that familiar position at the top of the field. It looks like right behind him, though, is the Hungarian, and he will be the one that they'll be watching very closely, Paracanoe, who's... I was talking to some of the Hungarians, and they were just telling me about he's such a good paddler, but he gets so nervous before he races, and sometimes his race is lost. Oh, look at that. There's
a real crash.
Oh, my goodness. There is some problems there for Bock from Denmark, who was going very well, but he's just been shuffled back through the pack. Mads Peterson coming up on the outside now. He'll probably try and ride up alongside Fernando Pimenta, maybe just give him a bit of an eyeball and remind him that he's there. Yeah, they were telling me that he gets so nervous before some of the races that sometimes his race is gone before he even gets on the water, because
oh,
he gets
really?
himself so
I don't know him that well,
So Thompson, Vold, I mean, this race is chock-a-block full of quality athletes. Pimenta out in front.
On his right,
sitting just off Pimenta, boat number... Boat number 35 is, let me check through my form guide here. He's not on our list, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe there's been a change of bib number there. But no doubt about who is out in front. It's Fernando Pimenta from Portugal. Pimenta was silver medalist in Copenhagen. Did not finish in Halifax, so he would have been pretty annoyed about that. Gee, there's a bit of congestion back there. Something's going to go awry here, you can tell.
Wow, it looks like the sea behind these guys.
It really does. So we're heading down to the first portage of this men's K1 5000. Pimenta is there on the right-hand side of the screen. That is Mads Peterson on the left-hand side of the screen. And in between them Well, we'll just go back in a moment and see who's there in the second and third positions at the moment, but a real logjam just off this front pack. So Pimenta comes down. Let's see if his portaging has improved at all. Oh, we'll miss his portage, unfortunately. Here we go, he's out. He looks much more comfortable than he did last year. Now, that's Hamish Lovemore there in the red boat up there, the South African. So he'll like where he is at the moment. Mads Petersen just off his back, so a couple of very, very competent marathon paddlers. And look at this behind you. This is like the stampede of the wildebeest coming over the Serengeti. They're all jumping in on the same side. I'm not quite sure of the logic behind that, but who am I to question people's tactics in these races? So Pimenta is still off and away. And it looks like the German is at Pafler who's chasing him down. Hamish Lovemore is up there as well from South Africa. We saw Mads Petersen was there. And it looks like at this stage, Pimenta must
Where's Pimenta?
Pimenta must have stuffed his return. Where's he gone? Where has Fernando Pimenta gone? He's not in that front.
Oh, I can see him just there.
So he's stuffed it up somewhere. And here he goes. He's just rejoining the race now. So what happened? We missed what happened. Maybe if the cameras picked up what happened to him, they can show us. But he's fallen off that front group. There he is there. What is that? No, that's not Pimenta. So
no, he's back in.
He's back in the race, but Petersen now is out with Hamish Lovemore, I think, out there at the front of the race, and they're looking over their shoulder wondering where he's gone as well. What has happened to Pimenta? If the cameras pick that up, hopefully we'll see a replay. He got out of the water fine.
Yeah.
So something must have happened when he got back into the water. Maybe there was a rudder problem or something that's happened there that's put him off and caused him to fix his boat up, but he's now well and truly off the front pack, which at the moment is now thinned down to 2. It looks like Petersen, Mads Petersen and Hamish Lovemore. Now we might, so this is the start. We'll try and get, if we can, if the TV cameras have any footage at all of what happened with Fernando Pimenta on that first portage when he tried to get back in the water. Something has happened to him to force him to go from first to midfield on that first portage. Also didn't see where did you see where the Hungarian was? No, was he up there in the, I think
I'm not sure.
So yeah, maybe he's
chasing?
That's the chase group,
yeah.
I think. So there's Nico Pafler, the German. Vold from Norway second. Yep, indeed. So there's a rudder problem there for Davis from South Africa. They're just trying to fix that up for him. Is that allowed? I don't know if that's allowed. So let's see now, where is Pimenta? There's Pimenta just coming around the bend now, midfield. This is not your lead group. Now, where's our lead group? These are, I think this is your chase group, because we know that Mads Petersen and Hamish Lovemore, there they are. So these are our leaders. Petersen and Lovemore. Lovemore, great portage there for the big South African. Races around Petersen and he'll get in the water first. They've got a bit of distance now between them and the chase group. So Callum Davis out of the race. And here are your chasers. Some quality athletes. And there is the Hungarian.
Two Hungarians
together.
Yeah.
Yep. The Hungarians would have been fairly confident about Paracanoe, but he is at the back of that group now, and so he'll have some work to do if he's going to get up and challenge for a medal.
Yeah.
Pimenta now, let's watch. We can see from behind. Oh, he's crashed into the pontoon. Just let's see how he goes running along here and getting in the water, but there's obviously something has gone wrong somewhere for the Portuguese paddler. He hates them. He hates the. Oh, we've had a fall and it looks like a swim. He looks very wet, the American. He's got more water in his boat than out of it at the moment.
Just hasn't really calmed down.
It really hasn't. It really hasn't.
As the laps have gone on.
Oh my God, people are losing their bibs, they're losing their focus, they don't know what they're doing. This is all over the shop. Yeah, it does pay to get out in front, doesn't it? Stay out of all this mess. So, oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
oh, we shouldn't
no.
laugh. We should not laugh, but, wow, that's not meant to happen. Now, you've been summoned. You've got to go and put your boat on the trailer. So
I got a new boat, so it needs to get back home somehow.
Yeah, okay. No, you should go and do that. Thank you, Rebecca, for joining me up here in the commentary box.
Thank you.
Safe trip home.
Thanks.
And Fernando Pimenta, looks like he's going to be withdrawing from the race. Or is he trying to get back in? Looks like he might be. I think he's going to rejoin the race, the Portuguese paddler, but he's so far behind now. He had a problem. He went back into the middle of the course, got instructions from the officials, and he has rejoined the race, but there is a long gap between himself now and the rest of the field. In fact, Mads Pedersen could come down and lap him the way this race is panning out. If Pimenta's got boat troubles. Nico Paufler there, the strong German there in the chase group. So good battle here in the front. We've got Mads Pedersen, we've got Hamish Lovemore, the Dane and the South African alongside each other in a good battle now for first place. The chase group of 4 with Nico Paufler from Germany leading the way. I think there is a Hungarian in that chase group. I'll just need to get back and have a look, but they go to opposite sides now. Let's see who can portage the best. They're both experienced marathon paddlers, so they should know how to portage. Mads Pedersen looking strong. Hamish Lovemore just emptying his boat out. There's not much water in there for him to empty out, but he's had a good, strong portage as well. And here we go, down to the chase group. And there is a Hungarian, though, but it's not Balenoa. He's not there. Nico Paufler is there. These guys are at the moment battling for third. That's Selye from Hungary, Paufler, Lindberg, and one of the Norwegians as well. I think it was John Vold in that group from Norway. So more trouble here. Oh, and somebody nearly lost their head. I tell you, it's entertaining, but a tad dangerous sometimes for the portages. But it really has added some real interest and some real excitement to the 5,000-metre races. Extra work. Gee, they have to work hard, as if paddling 5Ks on its own is not enough. They then have to get out there and lift up their boats and do these portages. Hamish Lovemore now taking control, moving ahead of Pedersen. They're just working alongside each other. And there is Fernando Pimenta. He is not a happy man. Not a happy man. I'm not sure what happened. He went across to the middle of the course, talked to the officials, and has rejoined the race, but he's so far back now, unfortunately, for the big Portuguese. And that has cleared the race out for these 2 leaders, Hamish Lovemore and Mads Pedersen. Really have the race to themselves at the moment. Still a couple of big groups behind them. The chase group at the moment is about 4 strong. But they're going to have to really work together. These 2 paddlers are very, very experienced, very efficient marathon paddlers. Having a bit of a chat to each other at the moment. Just working out. Oh, there's a boat without someone in it. So we've had another swim. in these challenging conditions. He's looking for his paddle. I think his paddle's going one way, his boat's going the other. This is not a good situation to be in. I think I'd go for the boat. That's got to be worth more than the paddle. It is challenging conditions, and there are a lot of paddlers in a very small space, and you can guarantee things are going to happen. The officials come over to help. They've got to try and get him out of the water pretty quickly. It's a cold day, and you don't want to leave people sitting in the water for too long. And in fact, Pimenta's down there now. I think he's withdrawn. I think Fernando Pimenta has decided that's it for the afternoon. Enough is enough. He has, I think, withdrawn by the look of that. Now let's have a look at these two leaders. Peterson and Hamish Lovemore from South Africa. This is the fourth portage. So one more portage to go, and Mads Peterson makes his move now. And Hamish Lovemore struggled a little bit getting back into the boat, so it's opened the door for Mads Peterson to make a move here, and he's done so. Lovemore trying to tack back on, but look at the distance there. Hamish Lovemore really struggled to get back in the boat on that portage, and you only give Mads Peterson a split second of an opportunity, and he will take it with both hands. And he has cleared out now to a long lead, and he will take some running down. We've seen him in marathon races. When he's out in front, he is very, very difficult to track down. So he will like the way this race is panning out for him. Hamish Lovemore now, he is struggling. He's got a couple of paddlers who are coming up behind him now to join him for a battle for silver. So he's not going to like that when all of a sudden he has some company. I think Joachim Lindberg is one of the paddlers alongside him. And it's one of the, I think it's John Vold who's there as well, who are going to come up alongside him in just a moment. But here we go again with the, you can see in the distance, in the background, that battle for second and third, which is unfolding. But there is Peterson. He's out by himself and looking stronger with every stroke. And they're still coming along the portage here, trying to get some clear air, trying to get away from the trouble. But for some of these paddlers, trouble finds them. Peterson looks over his shoulder, just checks where the chase group is. He'd be pretty happy with what he can see. There's a big gap between himself and the next best paddlers. Just repeating, Fernando Pimenta, one of the pre-race favourites, is out. He's withdrawn from the race. So, and there's Hamish Lovemore now. Something went badly wrong for Hamish when he got back in his boat at the end of the last portage. And that's when the race opened up. Simon McTavish from Canada is now also out of the race. He would have been a medal prospect. He was fourth in Halifax last year, so he's out of the race as well. And there we have the race at the moment for second, and Hamish Lovemore is really struggling now, and that's actually Elvin Vold, who is moved into second position. Joachim Lindberg from Sweden in third, and Lovemore at the moment sitting in the fourth spot. But Mads Peterson coming down for his final portage of what has been a fantastic performance. Of course, the Marathon World Championships in Denmark later this year. I'm assuming that he will be there. That'll be his priority unless he wants to try and challenge for the Olympics. Thomas Lusty there now just getting into the water, looks across and sees Mads Peterson go past him. Last lap for the ruthless Dane, Mads Peterson. He is so formidable on the water. There is It's not the chase group. The chase group's, I think, coming down to the pontoon now. So here they are. They're up there. There they are. So they're back in the water. The race for second and third is going to be really interesting. We've got Evan Vold, we've got Joachim Lindberg, we've got Hamish Lindmore. 3 paddlers. Hamish Lovemore, 3 paddlers competing for 2 medals. And look at Elvin Vold now. He is trying to put a bit of distance between himself and the rest of the field with that chase group, but it's very tight there for second, third and fourth at the moment. But not much doubt about who is leading this race. It is Mads Pedersen from Denmark. Took the opportunity when it presented himself, when Hamish Lovemore made a slight mistake on the third portage, and that's when Pedersen made his move. And once he gets out there in front, he is a very hard man to run down. And unfortunately now for Hamish Lovemore, it looks like he must have some boat trouble, because he has really dropped off that second group as well, which makes it a group of 2 competing for second and third. So I'm not sure what's happened with Hamish Lovemore's boat, but maybe that's what the problem was when he had that difficult portage. But it's Mads Pedersen in front. Let's see if we can see what's happening in the battle for second and third at the moment. Pedersen coming around the top now for the sprint home. Fantastic performance from the Big Dane. Again, we're so used to seeing it. It's Andy Burkett has had his measure in the marathon for the past couple of big events. But today in the 5,000 metres, we'll cross to him in just a moment, Mads Pedersen. He's ready for the final sprint home. Ooh, that's an interesting way to portage. Just fill your boat up with water. Here he comes. Mads Pedersen, look at this man. He is a powerful individual. He's getting stronger and stronger as he heads towards the finish line. He'll be pretty happy with that. A World Cup gold medal here in Szeged. Finished with a bronze in Copenhagen in the World Championships in 2021. Comes down now to the finish line. Mads Pedersen, a marathon world champion, created history when he won the under-23 and senior marathon world title in the space of 24 hours in China. And that then, I think, woke the world up to just how good this man is, how strong he is. Look at him, he's pretty happy. Gold for Mads Pedersen from Denmark. The battle for second will be interesting. We'll see. We haven't seen a picture of them for a little while. It'll be interesting to see. Interesting to see how that battle. Here we go. What a great battle it is here between Vold and Lindberg for silver. Vold from Norway, Lindberg from Sweden. Lindberg trying to dig deep, and look at Evan Vold. He is really gritting the teeth and putting in some tough strokes here to hold on, and Lindberg now concedes the battle. Elvin Vold the silver, Joachim Lindberg the bronze. Hamish Lovemore, I think there he comes now. He's had some problems somewhere along the line with his boat. He will limp over the line for fourth spot. And John Vold now there also in a race towards the finish line with the Hungarian Paracanoe, who was one of the pre-race favourites, so never really in the race though for the gold medal. Congratulations to our medalists, though. There we have official confirmation. Pedersen gold, Vold silver, and Lindberg taking the bronze.
Congratulations to Rafael Rofalski and Daniel Johnson.
Really powerful performance from Mads Pedersen. He's just such a strong individual and really has turned marathon paddling on its head and really changed the way a lot of the athletes approach their races and race on the water, and very few have been able to stick with him. Some of the stragglers now are starting to come over the finish line. A tough race today. I think the 5 portages has worked well. It's certainly created extra challenges for all the athletes. And I think we learned today that being out in front by yourself is a very good place to be when there are 30 men with kayaks trying to get up and out of the water and then back in again. But a couple of the pre-race favourites, of course, had to withdraw midway through the race. We're not sure what happened to Fernando Pimenta, but he was leading at the first portage and got out of the water fine, but then something went wrong getting back into the water, and he tried to struggle on, but eventually he had to withdraw. We had Simon McTavish from Canada, the 4th place getter in Halifax last year in this race. He also withdrew mid-race. So there was a bit of carnage, a bit of drama for some of the athletes, but the quality always rises to the top, doesn't it? And Mads Pedersen oozes quality. So well done. There he is, our gold medalist Mads Pedersen now comes over and shakes the hand of Paracanoe. Let's have a listen to see what Mads Pedersen has got to say about his win today.
The gold goes to Mads Pedersen. What a great performance. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. I was doing the 1,000 meter the last few days, and I struggled a bit. So to come here today and take the win, that's just awesome. It's a difficult course because we have the 5 portages. In the sprint boat, it's a bit difficult because you don't have the pump. And so for a marathon guy like me, it's more easy with the marathon boat, of course, but this is for everyone, they struggle with having the heavy boat and no pump. So I was lucky to get some good portages, and some people did some mistakes, and then I could just go away, so that was just nice.
It was an eventful race. Thank you very much and congratulations.
And I think that's the key. As Mads Pedersen said, other people were making mistakes, other people were making bad decisions. He kept his nose clean, and that's what it took in the end. Just repeating our results. So there we have the winner of the women's C1, Katie Vincent from Canada, taking the gold medal in the women's C1 5000. That's 2 gold medals for her today on the final day of competition. In the men's C1, it was a hometown win for Balázs Adolf from Hungary, from the Cuban Jose Cordova. Very popular win there for the Hungarian Balázs Adolf, showing his form from the last couple of years was no fluke. He's also an outstanding marathon paddler as well. The women's K1, what an impressive performance from Estefania Fernandez from Spain, ahead of Melina Anderson and Vonda Kisley, taking the bronze medal in that race. A couple of DNFs there at the bottom of the field. But yeah, great. You could not be more impressed with Estefania Fernandez. And Sletso was also very brave in her 4th place finish. And of course the men's race, well, Mads Pedersen, again confirming to all of us what he is capable of, and just confirming what an outstanding paddler he is. And you know, the Danish marathon community is incredibly strong. They have such depth and such talent in the men's and the women's. And we're going to see some great young paddlers coming through there, coming through the Danish program for many, many years to come, I think. So that brings to an end our coverage from the 2023 ICF Canoe Sprint and Paracanoe World Cup here in Szeged. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. We've certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. The challenging conditions have been interesting, but we hope you've enjoyed some of the racing we've brought you. There's been some fantastic performances, and it really does augur well for what I think is going to be an outstanding season here in 2023. It's an Olympic and Paralympic qualifying season, of course. And there's just going to be some wonderful racing. We're looking forward to Duisburg already, but before that, we have Poznan in 2 weeks' time. Some of the greatest paddlers on the planet will be there in Poznan, getting their form ready for Duisburg. Thanks for your company, folks. See you in a couple of weeks.
Silver medalist, ezüstérmes, Kisbán Zsófia, Magyarország, Hungary. Gold medal.